Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another cast. Guys, today I have for you a 2v2 that I just got out of. This time on a map called Abominable Lake. And this match is quite abominable indeed. You will see things that will scar you for life. Your eyes will bleed, and your ears will burn, and your brain will slowly collapse from the insanity of what you are about to witness on this match. Actually, let me go ahead and introduce the players here in green. Of course, it is me going core K-bot first. The reason I'm going K-bots is because on a map like this, which is a little smaller, the distances between the player bases, it's not huge. But it's actually, K-bots allow you to, oh, I don't really like my color, but anyway, they allow you to control these areas better. Vehicles just have a harder time in long-range engagements with like Storms and Roccos. I've said many times before that Storms and Roccos are like king of T1 on the ground. But my ally here, Reaper, he is armed going vehicle first. In red, we have, no, HRMO. I don't know how to pronounce that, or if there even is a correct way to pronounce that. But he is armed going vehicle first. And finally, my opponent will be Walker. Walker and I, we've been going back and forth. I feel like we're pretty evenly matched with one another. He beats me about half the time. It's pretty close. That's when Walker isn't trolling. But Walker's always trolling. Anyway, I just felt like K-bot is better on this map because it allows you to defend more easily with Roccos and also attack as well with, say, like thuds, anything like that. So Walker, he is sending a couple peewees up, but I have plenty of AKs waiting for that, and then I wasn't really paying attention too much to what was happening on this side of the map because I was just doing my own things. I have a problem in team games where I just get way too preoccupied with what I'm doing. It gets to the point that even if someone is like messaging me in chat, like I ignore them because I can't break my attention away from my own engagements long enough to bother to respond. So I do apologize to anyone that has ever been my teammate. Probably not the greatest teammate to have. I just get kind of unresponsive. Kind of go into a sort of a zone and then stop paying attention to what everyone else is saying and doing on my team. So there was tons of action happening over here. I just honestly have no idea what it involved. There was a lot of flashes. I know that. There was tons of flash shenanigans that was happening. But as you can see, Walker looks like mostly just expanding, building some light laser towers. And me as well. I am mostly just expanding across the map. And we could probably even speed it up a little bit here. Reaper has sent some flashes in. There's going to be a lot of flashes, I think, in this game. But yeah, we'll speed it up a little bit as my ally Reaper looking for some raiding opportunities. As Walker just said in the allied chat, that's a disaster. Don't know if it's a disaster. It depends on if you can get anything. You might find this construction vehicle, and that would be somewhat misfortunate, I think. Oh, he did find him. Can he kill him? Nice job by Reaper. He will find that. And does some other engagements, but I think the biggest thing he's going to get is a construction vehicle unless he stops paying attention, which would be quite unfortunate indeed. However, he also does find some of Red's base, so nice harassment so far by my teammate. As he does kill the con. He kills several mexes And yeah, basically just kind of cripples Red's economy for the moment. I've walked my commander into the water here. It's not even really worth risking the sonar command. But yeah, my commander is underneath the water. Use your imagination. He's building some titles. As Blue continues to harass Red and make inroads into his base. Walker has reclaimed his starting lab and then now built a hovercraft platform. And I am building my first shipyard. So I would say that Blue has done a pretty good job getting some harassment done on Red's base. Nothing game-ending in terms of the amount of economic damage dealt, but decent. I'm building some storms just to defend myself. I haven't really built any static defenses. Walker doing the opposite. He's just building tons of static defenses. But here's what Walker really did that took me by surprise. He has a bear. This is the hovercraft transport. And he has put his commander in this. And you're about to see he's going to make a little beachhead here. And this totally catches me by surprise. Like, I'm completely caught off guard by this. I didn't build any radars in this area because, you don't expect your opponent to bring their commander in a hovercraft transport and just start building a base there. But that's exactly what he did. Walker, very, very cheeky play here. Bringing his commander across. I don't see it. This is my fault, by the way. I should have at least a radar or two somewhere in case, like, a hovercraft's raiding shenanigans. But it looks like Red has the upper hand here, now with more flashes. Reaper caught a little unprepared. Probably should have built these LLTs a little while ago, and this one won't even get completed before he loses that. But Walker, this devious man, has now created a terrifying situation. Now, here's what was happening that made this so difficult to know. Red had broken through on Blue's side, so I knew that Red was going to have units streaming into the middle soon. And I figured Walker had just sent some units up his ally's side with him. So that's where I thought Walker's units were coming from. I saw that Walker had units. I didn't realize that Walker had actually done this cheeky hovercraft maneuver, transporting his commander onto my side of the map. And as you can see, I was trying to do my due diligence here, bringing scouts out, looking for anything in the sea. But, yeah, I just assumed these flashes came from my opponent's side. I still have not grasped the utter depravity that Walker is engaging in at this current moment, which I'm going to give props to Walker for this very, very difficult play. So I'm a very cheeky play, scrambling storms to try and stop this now. Flash is moving on the north, and as you can see, this is very vulnerable. I have almost no defense up there. I do have an upgraded Geo, so that's somewhat helpful, but Walker also in my opponent's, or my ally's base as well. So Walker wreaking havoc on both of our bases. Flash is moving in from everywhere. This upgraded Geo actually does make a difference. But I still don't think I know yet what Walker is doing. I'm still not aware of this little hidden base. I still think that Walker's units are coming from my opponent's side, or my ally side. Reaper kills, or excuse me, Reaper's Geo is killed there by Red. So Reaper in a lot of trouble. He's gone air second, but this just wasn't a great time to go air, as he didn't really properly defend his choke point. And now Red streaming into his base. Now if Walker now building Sentinel. So this is when it became obvious to me that Walker was here. I saw a Sentinel laser. There was nothing else this could be. Sentinels have a really large range, maybe something like that. So when I saw a Sentinel laser, I knew that there was some foul play afoot happening. As you can see, blue now getting crunched from both sides, both red and Walker sandwiching this poor man. And I've sent some ships there to try to stop this. Try to stop red from just being able to stream into my allies' base. But you can see blue in a terrible situation. I now know that Walker is here. So yeah, this is kind of a super dire situation. I don't know what was going on. Let's see. Red's just in his base in that vehicle plant. Walker building a army of LLTs in that location. But all the action happening here. I bring my scouts. This will give me vision of this. And immediately start building destroyers to try to shell this from the water. Try to soften up that base. Bringing storms to try to defend this area, prevent any more bleeding. But unfortunately my scouts were not enough to stop these javelins from getting in. And blue doing what he can, but again, most of his base has already been destroyed. His economy's in shambles. He's only making 7 metal per second. Me and Walker are making about 30. So Reaper doing what he can, but in a horrible situation. And Walker now building T2. My first destroyer comes out. I'm going to start shelling this. Yeah, I can't let this beachhead just go unpunished. And this Geo is almost upgraded with a riot gun, but as you can see, it's still building. To buy a little bit of time. But that finishes like in the nick of time. This Geo upgrade definitely contributing to that battle. I may have lost everything if that Geo upgrade wasn't there in time. So very, very close. We're kind of playing this game on the razor's edge. But Reaper, I think, realizing that he's lost, that there's not much left for him to do. Red has a nice defense here. Decides that the most valorous action he can take is to send his commander in with a final kamikaze play and take as much of Walker's base as he can with him. That is what blue is doing. This is, we need some kind of epic theme music like Lord of the Rings or some kind of epic anime style music, because blue is making the ultimate sacrifice here. And he will die taking out most of Walker's base. Actually, all of Walker's base on this part. Now Walker running away at about half health. But here I come to try to finish Walker, but storms are a little bit slow. But now it is, even though blue did take out most of that base, it's now a 2v1 situation. So the advantage I have is that I have all the metal in the water. But the advantage they have is that they're 2 players. And I'm trying to find his commander here, but he runs straight east. I'm being a little careful because I don't want to just walk into his commander and get D-gunned. So I'm trying to sort of stay at a range so I can try to kill him with the storms without getting killed myself. But Walker has this impressive LLT field. Red with his own defenses as well. So once again, red going to T2 now. And also sending some flashes, but these destroyers off the coastline will help stop this. It is a very interesting situation now that it's a 2v1, but blue sacrificing himself to try to save the game. Sending expeditionary force through here. Trying to figure out what Walker is doing. Walker pumping out warriors. It's difficult to make an assault on this base with his commander. Red's forces as well. And he is too far away for my Crusaders to hit, so that's intentional. Staying away from the shoreline. So naval is kind of useless for me now. It's not really going to help this at all. It's not going to help kill Walker, which I desperately want to do. Unless I went to T2 naval, but that's a huge investment. That wouldn't really... I mean, it would help me in some ways, but I'm really trying to win the land battle here. The sea battle has already been won. It wasn't really much of a battle. Walker building it. Sentinel here. And it is finished just in time to push me away, so... Again, so many close calls. Blue almost killing Walker with his commander, then the Enforcer's almost killing him, but he gets away every time by the skin of his teeth, and now upgrading the Sentinel as well to a Mega Sentinel, actually, an Orion, I think it's called. But the Red continuing to send forces up to help his teammate, which is preferred, and have teamwork and team games is always a wonderful situation to be in. Now, if you can look economically, I am ahead, but their combined economy is stronger than mine. But I do go to T2 Kbot here. Now with this Orion, it's difficult to make any kind of push on him, and out of the range of my naval as well. Red trying to get into the water, which I don't think I know yet. So I could have maybe kept my scouts moving around the map to try to prevent this from happening. But nonetheless, I'm very focused right now on what Walker is doing. Just building some advanced constructors right now just to get some build power so I can pump out units quickly. So this is a kind of a delicate chess match that is happening here. I'm having to defend attacks coming from this. I also am thinking about breaking through all of Walker's defenses. I send some scouts over and see, oh, he's got a ton of defenses. So originally I was just going to build a ton of pyros and send them down here where I knew that Reaper didn't have much of anything, and try to kill his whole base and then swing over and kill Red's base with pyros. But Walker was ready. That's a ton of LLTs. It's going to take pyros forever to kill that many LLTs. I would need an army of them. Did I say Reaper? I think I meant Walker if I said Reaper. But anyway, Walker, with a huge amount of defense here, it's difficult to break through. So this situation is difficult because I'm thinking like, well, do I build Gimps and walk them all the way across the map? I mean, it could work, but it would take forever. Pyros are a much more direct route. It's much closer. You could just walk straight down. But ultimately, I decide I will build pyros, and I will use these useless destroyers that have just been sitting here doing nothing to come over here and kill all these pesky light laser towers so that I can send a nice assault group of pyros down there and kill all of Walker's base. But once again, it is difficult with this Orion. I built a single sumo, and the sumo is mostly just for tanking, just to be able to perhaps assault this position. Sumos are very slow, but they have a ton of health, and they're extremely expensive. That's why I only built one. And I also go into bombers here because I know players are very light on air defense at this position. It still feels very close. Still a 2v1 situation. Even though Blue Reaper did everything he could in his last moment. It's kind of sad that I couldn't kill Walker's commander. But luckily, my destroyers have taken out most of these defenses, and this will open the way for an army of pyros. I've got more coming down to start roasting Walker's base that's relatively undefended except for most of these turrets that I've already killed. So using my naval and land advantage here to try to create an opening. Excuse me. There's a push here from Walker, but the sumo was actually really clutch here. This acted as a brick wall, absorbing the spiders and the maverick damage, allowing me to use my storms in the back line to kill his attacking force. And the idea was to bring the bombers in here and actually kill this Orion. So I was going to attack and open it with the attack, and then use the bombers to finish it off so that I could finally mount an attack. So as you can see, it's open now. The bombers are coming in. There's pyros here, which I'm eventually going to send in. But yeah, Walker's sending his commander in. That will die. And then I think in the actual game I didn't see Walker say nicely done. But anyway, guys, that was a really interesting game. I think Walker's strategy was very good. I liked the idea. I like that Walker tries some pretty crazy, unorthodox stuff sometimes. And it certainly could have worked out. It was very close to working out. The game was very close. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that cast. Join my Discord if you're interested. If you want to play games with us, come be part of the community. We are playing games every day. And thank you for watching the cast. And I'll see you in the next video.